Alright, hello everyone and welcome to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about how having better self-management and self-control helped me with my weight loss. So the reason this one is important is because before, when I practiced bad self-management and self-control, I would procrastinate and wait until the last second to do the things that I had to do. And this put a lot of unnecessary stress and pressure on me because at the end of the week, I was rushing the last minute to get everything that I needed to done. So for those of you who feel like you have bad time management, I hope that you find this video helpful and try out some of the things that I'm about to talk about. So the first thing, sticking to work hours. Now, for my job, it's a lot of self-management and a lot of time management I have to do because I teach online. And so I don't have anyone else to tell me what I have to get done and what time it has to be done, like you would at any other job. And before, I didn't really practice time management at all. And like I said, I would wait until the last second to get things done. So like correcting papers or even pre-planning classes. And this made me feel really unconfident when I was teaching in class because I wasn't sure and sometimes I was coming up with things on the fly. But now I have a set time for working and I try to work 8 hours a day. I find now that I have plenty of time within those 8 hours to get everything that I need to done. I have time to correct my papers, I have time to pre-plan the classes, and this has made me really confident when I start teaching in my class because I know what I'm going to talk about and I've become more confident and more energetic while teaching. And something else that's been really helpful while working is putting in my full effort. Now what I mean by this is before I wouldn't put in my full effort and at the end of the day, I would feel kind of guilty for not doing it the best that I could or even feel like I wasn't good enough to be doing the job. But now I work harder to make sure that I'm doing the best that I can. That way, I don't feel as guilty for not doing the best that I can. And this has really helped with my mental health. And like I said, I've become more confident in my classes. And with this next thing, I'm pretty sure a lot of people do this. And I wasn't the only one. And sometimes I still find myself working towards being better and not doing this anymore. So what that thing is, feeling busy, but not actually being busy. Now, what I mean by this is before I would start a project, I would make the excuse, I don't know everything. I got a lot of research to do that has to be done. I'll wait and start the project later while I do this. And this was one of the main ways that I procrastinated. But it still made me feel like I was being busy or still working. So now instead, I jump right into the project and I start in on it rather than having the excuse that I have to do more research or I have to better prepare. And if I do end up needing to look something up, I look it up then and there, and that way I know exactly what I'm looking for. So for those of you who might struggle with this, don't be afraid to just jump in and start the project. Just do it and you'll have more time to do other things rather than continuing to work on a project and dragging it out for longer than it has to be. So by doing all of this during my work hours, I find that I don't feel as guilty, or I no longer feel like I'm not good enough for not doing everything that I needed to get done. And now I'm able to enjoy things more and I have more time at the end of the day to do the things that I want. And you guys should give yourself some credit if you're putting in your full effort into the work that you do. And this can really help with mental health because again, you don't feel guilty or you don't feel like you're not good enough for the job that you're doing. Because at the end of the day, you know for sure that you did the best that you could. And now the next thing, keeping organized in home and not procrastinating on things that have to be done. I find that doing the small chores after my work or even right as soon as they have to be done, I end up spending less time during the day or having one day a week where we're doing all the chores at once. Because I used to do that and it ended up taking more time or even half of a day to finish all of the chores because I let them just build up and build up and build up and I end up spending more time trying to get everything done. And it was really stressful because I felt like I was wasting time or I could have been out doing something else and enjoying it more. So by doing the chores right as soon as they need to be done or after working, I find that I'm no longer stressed out about seeing everything that has to be done or seeing the clutter that's around the house. And before, I would go all out on the weekends or with relaxation. I would not practice any self-control whatsoever. Like I said, I would eat whatever I want, whenever I want, and I would watch TV to relax or go out with friends all the time and not worry about finances or better time management or spending my time doing things that I needed to do. I would relax whenever I thought I could. But now instead, I try to be more budget friendly with my relaxation activities. So what I mean by this is now, instead of going out to a restaurant every weekend, I actually go out hiking in the mountains with my partner or find new places to go walking around here in Calgary. And sometimes if we're walking for a long time, we might go out and have a snack, but most of the time we'll pack snacks with us. And this really helps us better manage our budget because we're not going out every weekend and eating a bunch of food all at once. I now find that I enjoy eating at home and eating the home cooked meals more than I do when I'm going out. Now don't get me wrong, sometimes we do go out to eat, but we try to be adventurous with it and try something that we've never had before rather than going to McDonald's to get a hamburger or other places that we know, first of all, aren't that good for us. Second of all, something that we can make at home. So by doing this, we've actually found our favorite Ethiopian restaurant here in Calgary. So by being adventurous with the food, we feel like we're not always having the same thing all the time. And another way that we be adventurous with our activities is we're always looking to find somewhere else to walk or go that's pretty close to Calgary or pretty close to where we live. And we've found so many beautiful places, and I find it more relaxing now to go out walking than I do staying at home and laying in bed and watching TV. And not only am I getting the exercise that I need, but I'm also taking a lot of pictures and sharing it with my family. Now, the reason I take a lot of pictures and share it is because I'm far away from my family and I still feel like I want to stay connected or that they're still with me in some way. And so by doing this, I find that it gives us more things to talk about on the weekends when I call them. Now for this last one, it might be different for those of you that have kids, but for both me and my partner, we live far away from our family, and so we try to call them once a week or every weekend in order to just catch up or feel like we're still connected in some way. And if you know for sure that you're not going to have as much time throughout your week, it's important to take the weekends and spend it with your family. That way you don't feel as guilty for not being able to have as much time with them. And by applying these things, I found that I was able to deal with my problems better. Alright, and that'll be it for the video. I hope you found it helpful and try practicing some of the things that I mentioned before. Now, I know each of us is different and you might have a different way of managing your own time or dealing with your problems. So leave a comment below and maybe you'll help someone else. Alright, that'll be it for this video. If you liked it, don't be afraid to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel to keep up with the journey. Bye for now, and I'll see you in the next one.